All right, so let's talk a little bit about becoming a real estate agent. Recently I've been getting a lot of people DMing me about, or saying, Hiljin, I'm actually thinking about becoming a real estate agent. Is there any tips that you want to share with me? How do you like becoming a real estate? All these sort of things. And I think making this video would be very helpful for anyone who is potentially thinking about becoming a real estate agent. Times are changing, guys. Rates are super high. There's a NAR settlement that had just come about, and it's changing the scope of the business as a whole, especially from, when I started 4 years ago. So I think this is a good video for me to be very raw and just kind of share my thoughts about becoming a real estate agent and, really breaking down the truths and kind of the pros of becoming a real estate agent, and also showing a little bit of the cons as well. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So I broke it down into 3 things, right? The 3 kind of pros to becoming a real estate agent, why I like being a real estate agent. And I want to kind of flip the coin and kind of give you the other side, because there's always, 2 sides to everything. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Pro number 1 is freedom, right? You see it in TV a lot. What really inspired me to become a real estate agent is the $1 Million Listing New York. That was my shit. So it's crazy because a lot of these agents, the successful agents who've been in the business for a while, they don't really work too much, right? And really they make their own hours. You're self-employed. You could work from anywhere. You could work from home, which I pretty much do 99.9% of the time. I work from home. And as long as you have an internet connection, you could successfully run a real estate business. So there's a lot of freedom, a lot of flexibility for all those who are looking to, spend more time with their family, be your own boss, be self-employed. Becoming a real estate agent absolutely fits that criteria. But let's flip the coin. That famous Spider-Man quote, with great power comes responsibility. And that's absolutely true on the other side of freedom. You have to be able to practice self-discipline. You have to be able to be your own self-manager, and you have to be able to treat it like a business, right? You have to be the CEO of your company and do the right things to allow that needle to continue to move forward. Otherwise, having freedom is pretty much just not good, right? The freedom is going to prevent you from actually producing, right? And it happens a lot, guys. That freedom ends up being something that turns agents comfortable, and then that comfortability doesn't allow agents to build the business that they are capable of building. So I think freedom is fantastic, but freedom needs to be earned. I think that's the bottom line. And I think if you are coming from a 9-to-5 job where, you don't have that freedom, it might be tougher to be able to transition into all that freedom, right? It's kind of like when you graduate high school, you go to college, and then, you're going to school all day from Monday through Friday, and you go to college and you're only having 1 to 4 classes a week, and you're not even going to school on Fridays. It's that transition period. It takes a little bit of adjusting and assimilating. But as long as you kind of go in there with the right mindset and you understand that freedom is earned, right? Eventually freedom is something that you have to earn, then you'll be totally fine. Right. I think that's a good way to kind of end it. I don't want to go on a rant, but yeah, freedom is fantastic. It's a fantastic pro. Just make sure to do what you need to do every single day to move the needle forward. All right. So point number 2, the truth about being a real estate agent, right? And they say it's about there's a very low barrier of entry. Now, what does that mean? The prerequisites to becoming a real estate agent is very minimal. I think the main thing is you just have to be 18 years old. You have to have an ID. You can't have a criminal background. And that's pretty much it, right? As long as you're 18, no criminal background, you have an ID, you could apply. There are 3 classes that you have to take. You could take this online, you could take this in person. And after you take the 3 courses, you have to pass the final, which then gives you the privilege to actually take the state exam, right? Whichever state you're looking to get licensed in. And after you take the exam, and then you are a licensed real estate agent. You hang your license with the broker, and then now you can start buying and selling real estate. And it's really that simple, right? And it doesn't take too long. You can literally take all 3 classes in a semester or a quarter if you really wanted to. Again, you could take it online, which is what I did. I took it through Kaplan Real Estate, or you could take it in person if, doing something online isn't your cup of tea. So much flexibility, so much opportunity to be able to do something that fits your learning style and your lifestyle. So it's true. Like it doesn't take too much to become a real estate agent. And you could literally do this right out of high school at 18 years old. Now, you just compare it to other things, right? If you like in schooling, to become a lawyer, to become like a physical therapist, which is what I actually went to school for, an engineer, a doctor, a nurse, whatever the case may be, there's other prerequisites that need to be completed, right? For your degree, sometimes grad school, and not to mention all the money that you have to invest in school to be able to go through all the courses and get your diploma and whatnot. And oftentimes it takes a really long time, right? A lot of energy, a lot of time spent to be able to get your degrees before you could actually start making money as a professional. And that's not the case in real estate, right? To become an agent. Oftentimes being an agent will make you a lot of money. It could even match the salaries of, the very, very high earners like doctors and engineer, like computer, I don't know what all these people make, but I know becoming a real estate agent allows you to actually at the very least match a lot of these salaries. And if you kind of like look at it from a macro perspective, it's almost no question that going through the real estate route is just easier. Now, the other side of the coin, right? A very low barrier of entry. However, typically it takes a lot of time until you're able to actually earn money as a real estate agent, versus the other sides as a professional. After you finish school, you get hired to a job, you basically earn your paycheck as soon as you are hired, and it's a consistent paycheck, which is fantastic and very nice. Obviously, who doesn't want like something that's consistent and safe? Versus, becoming a real estate agent, you're going into a situation where there's so many agents out there already, established agents who have their own farms and territories and their own book of business already. When you're going in as a brand new agent, it's going to take a while for you to build that up. So having consistent income is not something that you are going to receive maybe for the next, year, 2 years, 3 years, maybe, depending on how hard you work. Very low barrier of entry, but it's going to take you a lot longer to be able to find consistency and build a business that you could actually live on and find freedom. All right. Last one is uncapped salary, right? So as a realtor, you have no cap to how much money you want to make, right? If you, for example, made $50K your very first year, you could kind of look at your business, understand what you did, and then make little changes to be able to increase that salary from, $50K to $100K, for example. Or, if you wanted to even turn it from $50K and, 5X it, you could do that as well, right? There's no cap to how much you want to make every single year as a real estate agent. Again, and flip it to the other side of the coin versus like your typical 9-to-5 job, where if you are salary, you could work 50, 40, 20, X amount of hours per week, and how much you're going to make, right? And it's not something that you can control when you are working for another person, working as a professional, engineer, doctor, nurse, whatever the case may be. The other side of the coin is, yes, you can make as much as you want. And also the tough part though about becoming a real estate agent is you could put in the same 40 hours every single week, and you may not even be able to close one single deal. Right? There's not much that you can't control the market as a real estate agent. You can't force someone to buy a home, and you cannot force someone to sell a home either. Right? There's so many things that are uncontrollable in the real estate side. Right? The only thing that you can control is the work that you put in. The outcome that happens is totally not something that you can control. That's the other side of the coin, right? One year you could make $300,000 because interest rates were super low. Everyone was looking to buy and sell. And then now, fast forward to 2024, rates are 7%, and you might struggle to make $100,000, and you're putting in the same amount of work that you put in, when you make $300,000. So take that with a grain of salt, take it for however you want to take it, but that's absolutely something that is just the reality of being a real estate agent. All right. So that is the end of this video. I think this is something that I'm trying. I want to be able to try different things, throw, something at the wall and see what sticks. But I think this is something that I want to do to add value to people who are looking to become a real estate agent. I always love watching day in the life videos of different professionals, day traders, engineers, athletes. And it's kind of nice to be able to sit here and then create my own day of the life and share my experience and tell my story and hopefully really impact and inspire other people to do what they want to do, right? And that's kind of the main thing. So if you made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for spending the time with me. Comment, like, subscribe. If you want me to answer any other questions regarding becoming a real estate agent, definitely put it down in the comments below. But yeah, more videos like this will be coming in the future. So with that said, guys, deuces.